Welcome back to Awesome Possum Hobbies and Games. I'm Chris, and today we have another box opening of Magic the Gathering Universes Beyond Fallout. This one's science! So, let's go ahead and dig into the science deck and see if it's worth learning about. Let's go! Here we are with the latest Magic the Gathering Commander deck. This one's Science, featuring Dr. Madison Lee. And supposedly this includes a Collector's Booster Sample Pack plus 2 Legendary Traditional Foils, including with the Science deck. And let's go ahead and get her opened. This one is not an easy opener. Included in here is a cardboard box, which goes right into the recycling bin. Some, man, they're making these things more and more difficult to open. Here's the deck itself. A little, fold out that includes information about Dr. Madison Lee and science. A little information about how to play Commander and what's going on with that. Some little punch outs, which these size punch outs really don't do much for me. I wish be something more useful. And then inside here is the little life counter. Goes up to 40. And a sample collector's booster. We'll go ahead and get into that in here in just a few minutes. I'll toss the rest of the garbage away. So, this wraps quite easily. Let's go ahead and zoom in. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Dr. Madison Lee. Red, white, and blue, legendary creature, human scientist. It's a 2/3. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, you get an energy counter. If you haven't played since, it's been a few years since we've seen energy counters, so this is kind of exciting. You know, with all the artifacts that have energy counters involved, red, white, and blue are some decent colors with it. And she can also tap, pay an energy. Target creature gets +1/+0 and gains trample and haste until end of turn. Or you can tap and pay 3 energy to draw a card. Or you can tap and pay 5 energy, return target artifact card from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Fine. Liberty Prime Recharge. Let's go ahead and take a look at the foiling process. Now these are brand new compared to the rest of them. Not too bad, not too bad. Liberty Prime, red, white, and blue with 2 colorless mana. Legendary artifact creature robot. And an 8/8 legendary trample haste. For 5, that's not bad, but whenever Liberty Prime Recharge attacks or blocks, sacrifice it unless you pay 2 energy counters. You have to pay 2 and tap, sacrifice an artifact. You get 2 energy counters and you get to draw a card. All kinds of awesome abilities there, but just remember, in order to be able to block or attack, you gotta spend that energy or you're gonna sacrifice Liberty Prime. It's a big disadvantage. Next one is Paladin Dance, Steel Maverick. 1 blue, or 1 white, 2 colorless, legendary artifact creature, Synth Knight. 3/3, Vigilance, Lifelink. Exile this card. Each creature you control that's an artifact or human gains indestructible until end of turn. Not a bad rare. Actually, it's an uncommon, so it's even better. Nerd Rage. Again, I know a lot of players that, when I go play on Saturdays, have that ability. Nerd Rage, 1 blue, 2 colorless. Enchantment Aura. Enchant creature. When Nerd Rage enters the battlefield, you get to draw 2 cards. And then enchant creature you have no maximum hand size. And whenever this creature attacks, if you have 10 or more cards in your hand, it gets +10/+10 till end of turn. Great uncommon for 3 mana. Next card. Robo-Brain Warmind, 1 blue, 3 colorless, artifact creature, robot. It's a star 5, and Robo-Brain Warmind's power is equal to the number of cards in your hand. See a little theme going on there. And then Brain Warmind enters the battlefield. You get an amount of energy equal to the number of artifact creatures you control. So it kind of feeds Liberty Prime Recharge. It's a great card. And then whenever Warmind attacks, you may pay 3 energy. If you do, you get to draw a card, making it even bigger. Not bad. Battlecat Blast. Battlecat Blast is 1 red 4 colorless instant. Improvise, so your artifacts can help cast a spell. Each artifact you tapped after you're done activating mana for abilities pays for 1 colorless. And then this card deals 5 damage to target. If excess damage is dealt to a permanent this way, create an amount of tap treasure tokens. Great. Elder Owen Loins, 1 blue, 1 white, 2 colorless, 3/3 legendary creature, human knight. Artifacts you control have ward 1. And then when this card enters the battlefield or dies, return target artifact card from a graveyard to your hand. Next card is Camp. If you played Fallout before, you're all about building. Camp is the card for you. 3 colorless mana for an artifact Fortification. When a fortification land is tapped for mana, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. If that creature shares a color with the mana that land produces, create a junk token. And to fortify, it's just like Equip, you just have to pay 3 colorless mana. Interesting. Very interesting. Behemoth of Vault 0, 6 colorless mana, artifact creature robot trample. When this card enters the battlefield, you get 4 energy counters. And then when this card dies, you may pay an amount of energy equal to target non-land permanent. It's mana value when you do destroy that permanent. All that for 6. It's uncommon. I don't know if that'll see much play, but next up, some bobbleheads. You know, if you ever played the Fallout game, bobbleheads were everywhere, and if you were a collector like me, you had to get all of them. Got to catch them all. 3 colorless mana artifact bobblehead taps to reduce any mana of any 1 color, and then you pay 3 and tap up to X target creatures you control get +1/+0 and gain indestructible until end of turn, where X is the number of bobbleheads you control as you activate this ability. Activate only as a sorcery. Next card, Expert Level Safe. 2 colorless mana. I'm kind of tied on this card. I don't know if it's going to be good or not. It's going to be interesting either way. It's an artifact. When it enters the battlefield, you exile the top 2 cards of your library face down, and then you pay 1, tap it. You and target opponent secretly choose a number between 1, 2, and 3. Then those choices are revealed. If they match, sacrifice Expert Level Safe, and put all cards exiled with it into their owner's hands. Otherwise, exile top card of your library face down. So the more chances that more times that you go through and try to crack that safe, the more cards are going to go underneath it, make it more beneficial when you actually do. Okay, next pack. Intelligent Bobblehead. 3 colorless mana, artifact Bobblehead, taps to reduce mana of any color, and then pay 5 and tap, draw X cards, where X is the number of bobbleheads you control. Interesting. Nuka-Cola vending machine, man. When they were going through and previewing this card, the pre-order prices for Nuka-Cola vending machine was insane. Now, finding out that it's just uncommon, and most likely you get 1 for every 1 of these boxes, the prices have dropped down significantly. But they're still going to be quite sought after for some time, because they're not going to be produced for a very long time, or at least until we see another Fallout series, if that ever happens. Nuka-Cola vending machine is 3 colorless mana artifact. Pay 1, tap it, create a food token. Whenever you sacrifice a food, create a tap treasure token. So it does quite a few things. It creates food, and when you use food, you get to create treasure tokens. Next one's Crush Contraband. 1 white, 3 colorless. Instant, choose 1 or both. Exile target artifact or exile target enchantment. Not a bad card. Actually, I think that might see some play. Next card is Dispatch. 1 white, tap target creature. Metalcraft, if you have control 3 or more artifacts, exile that creature instead. Sword of Plowshares. Great looking Swords of Plowshares. Everyone's seen what Swords of Plowshares are. I'm not going to go through and read it, but that's a kind of fun little thematical Swords of Plowshares. Next one's Glimmer of Genius. 1 blue, 3 colorless, scry 2, and then draw 2 cards, and then you get 2 energy counters. Great in this deck. Thirst for Knowledge. Fun little card. Whirler Rogue. 2 blue, 2 colorless, 2/2 creature human rogue artificer. When this card enters the battlefield, create 2 1/1 Thopter artifact creature tokens with flying. Tap 2 untapped artifact creatures you control. Target creature can't be blocked this turn. Loyal Apprentice. Great reprint. Unexpected Windfall. 2 red, 2 colorless. As an additional cost to cast a spell, you have to discard a card. Draw 2 cards and then create 2 treasure tokens. Next cards, Arcane Signet. Everflowing Chalice. Great reprint. Lightning Greaves. Mind Stone. Fun looking Soul Ring. Talisman of Conviction. Talisman of Creativity. A Talisman of Progress. Man, lots of artifacts for this artifact deck. Thought Vessel. Automated Assembly Line. Let's take a look at that one. It's a rare. New card from the set. 1 white, 1 colorless. Whenever 1 or more artifacts you control deal combat damage to a player, you get an energy. Then you pay 3 energy to create a tap 3/3 robot artifact creature token. Fun. Brotherhood Scribe, 1 white, 1 colorless, Metalcraft. It's a 1/3 creature human artificer with Metalcraft. Tap, and you get an energy counter. Activate only if you control 3 or more artifacts. Whenever whenever you get 1 or more energy during your turn, creature you get +1/+1 until end of turn. Wow, that can escalate pretty quick. Over Encumbered. 1 white, 1 colorless, enchant opponent. Whenever this card enters the battlefield, enchant opponent creates a clue, a food, and a junk token. At the beginning of combat on enchanted player's opponent's turn, that player may pay 1 for each artifact they control. If they don't, creatures can't attack this combat. The Pride Steel Flagship for 2 white, 4 colorless, 6/6 legendary creature vehicle with a crew 2 and has flying. And whenever another non-token artifact enters the battlefield under your control, create a 2/2 white human knight creature token with this creature gets +2/+2 as long as an artifact entered the battlefield under your control this turn. Fun. Sentry Bot. 1 white, 4 colorless, 2/5 artifact creature robot flash. This spell costs 1 less for each creature attacking you. And then when this card enters the battlefield, you get an energy for each creature attacking you. And then at the beginning of combat on your turns, you may pay 3 energy. If you do, you get +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Vault 13, Dweller's Journey. It's a saga for 1 white, 3 colorless enchantment saga. For each player, chapter 1, for each player, exile 1 up to 1 other target enchantment or creature that player controls until Vault 13 leaves the battlefield. Chapter 2, you gain 2 life and you get to scry 2. And then Chapter 3, return 2 cards exiled with Vault 13 to the battlefield under their owner's control and put the rest on the bottom of their owner's library. So you can target your things for 3 turns or 2 turns are gone, and then on the 3rd turn it comes back, and you can get rid of, depending on how many players there are. Next one is Curie, Emergent Intelligence for 1 blue, 1 colorless. It's a 1/3 legendary artifact creature robot, and when this card deals combat damage to a player, you can draw cards equal to its base power. So even if you increase its power, it's only going to get you 1, or if you're able to make the base different, that's the only way of drawing more cards. 1 blue, 1 colorless. Exile another non-token artifact creature you control. Cure becomes a copy of the exiled creature, except it has, when this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw cards equal to its base power. So if you can get rid of something big, it could draw you lots of cards. Next one is James, Wandering Dad. 1 blue, 2 colorless, legendary creature, human scientist, 2/4. It has an adventure on the adventure side as follow him for 2 blue, X colorless, instant adventure, investigate X time, so as you get to create X clue tokens. And then you can cast it from exile, or you can just cast it straight out for that 1 blue, 2 colorless to create a legendary creature, human scientist. This is a 2/4, and he taps for 2 colorless mana as it's spent only to activate abilities. Nick Valentine, Private Eye, 1 blue, 2 colorless, 2/2 legendary artifact creature, synth Detective. Nick Valentine, Private Eye, can't be blocked except by artifact creatures, and when this card or another artifact creature you control dies, you get to create a clue token. Fun, fun, fun. Synth Infiltrator. 2 blue, 3 colorless. It's a 0/0 artifact creature synth with Improvise. And you may have Synth Infiltrator enter the battlefield as a copy of any creature on the battlefield except it is a synth artifact creature in addition to its other types. Assault Dominator. Man, I hated these things when playing Fallout 4. Man, they were brutal. For 1 red, 1 colorless, it's a 2/2 artifact creature robot. When it enters the battlefield, you get 2 energy counters, and whenever an artifact creature you control attacks, you may pay an energy. If you do, put a choice of a +1/+1 counter, a first strike, or trample counter on that creature. Too bad it doesn't have double strike like it kind of has in the game. Next card is the Motherlode Excavator. 2 red, 3 colorless, legendary artifact creature robot. It's a 5/5. And when it enters the battlefield, choose target opponent. You get an amount of energy equal to the number of non-basic lands that player controls. Wow, huge benefit. And then when it attacks, you may pay 4 energy. When you do, destroy target non-basic land defending player controls, and creatures that player controls without flying can't block this turn. Next one's Plasma Caster. 1 red, 1 colorless, artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +1/+1, and when equipped creature attacks, you get 2 energy counters. And then you can pay 2 energy counters. Choose target creature that's blocking equipped creature. Flip a coin. If you win the flip, exile the chosen creature. Otherwise, Plasma Caster deals 1 damage to it, and it equips for 2. Next card is Synth Eradicator. 1 red, 2 colorless, 3/3 artifact creature, synth soldier, haste, and whenever this card attacks, exile the top card of your library. You get 2 energy. If you don't, you may play this card this turn. And then also it taps and you pay 3 energy and it deals 3 damage to any target. Great card. Fun little robots. Well, it's not a robot. It's a great artifact. Arcane Ganon. 1 white, 1 blue, 2 colorless, 2/3 legendary creature, human doctor, and then taps. Draw a card, and then discard a card. Put a quest counter on Arcane Ganon. And for Auld Lang Sin, once during each of your turns, you may cast an artifact or human spell from your graveyard with mana value less than or equal to the number of quest counters on this card. Electro Siphon. 2 blue, 1 red, instant counter target spell. You get a number of energy counters equal to its mana value. Red Death Shipwrecker. 1 blue, 1 red. It's a 1/3 legendary creature, crab mutant. Alluring Eyes. Tap, go target creature, and opponent controls that player draws a card. You get to add a red mana. Rex Cyberhound. For 1 white, 1 blue, 1 colorless, it's a 2/2 legendary artifact robot dog. And it's whenever this card deals combat damage to a player, they mill 2 cards, and you get 2 energy counters. Pay 2 energy counters. Choose target creature card in a graveyard, exile it with a brain counter on it. Activate only as a sorcery. Rex has all activated abilities of all cards, exile with brain counters on them. Sentinel Sarah Loins. 1 red, 1 white, 3 colorless for legendary human knight, haste 4/4. As long as an artifact enters the battlefield under your control, the certain creatures you control get +2/+2. That's huge. And whenever a Sentinel Sarah Loins and at least 2 other creatures attack, this card deals damage equal to the number of artifacts you control to target player. Ah, great card for artifact deck. Sean, Father of Synths. 1 blue, 1 red, 3 colorless, legendary creature, human scientist. And whenever you attack, you may create a copy or tapped and attacking token as a copy of target attacking legendary creature you control other than Sean, except it's not legendary and it's a synth artifact creature in addition to other types. Good way of being able to create some extra tokens that have some awesome abilities. And then when this card leaves the battlefield, exile synth tokens you control. Vault 112, Sadistic Simulation, 1 blue, 1 red, 2 colorless, Enchantment Saga, Chapter 1. And chapter 2, tap up to 1 target creature, we'll put a stun counter on it. You get 2 energy counters. And then chapter 3, put any number of energy, pay any number of energy, and if you paid 1 or more energy this way, shuffle your library, then exile that many cards from the top of it. You may play one of those cards without paying its mana cost. Amazing, amazing, amazing card. Another next card is Brotherhood Vertibird. It's a 3-cost artifact creature vehicle that has star power with 4 toughness, flying, and its power is equal to the number of artifacts you control, and it has crew 2. T45 power armor for 2 colorless mana. It's artifact equipment. When it enters the battlefield, you get 2 energy counters, and then equipped creature gets +3/+3 and doesn't untap during its controller's untap phase. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may pay a energy. If you do, untap equipped creature and then put your choice of menace, trample, or lifelink counter on it. It's pretty good. Ferris Lake. Hey, this is a great land cycle. I'm glad they finally made it. Ferris Lake. It's a land. Pay 1, tap it, and it gets a blue and a red. Good card. Helios 1. It is a great land for energy, so it can tap, produce colorless mana, or you can pay 1 and tap it to get an energy counter. Or you can pay 3, tap it, and pay X energy, sacrifice Helios 1, destroy target non-land permanent with mana value of X. Activate only as sorcery. This card is a great land. I need to get more copies of those. Especially one for my Eldrazi deck. Austere Command, great reprint. Open the Vaults, another great reprint. Good card in this deck. Mechanized Production, great reprint. Good include in this deck. One with a Machine, another great reprint. Wake the Past. 1 red, 1 white, 5 colorless. Return all artifact cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. They gain haste until end of turn. Mystic Forge, great reprint. You may look at the top card of your library anytime. You may cast artifact spells and colorless spells from the top of your library, and then you can pay tap and pay 1 life. Exile the top card of your library, so you don't have to look at that card anymore. Panharmonicon, another great reprint. In this deck, 4 colorless mana for artifact. If an artifact or creature entering the battlefield causes a triggered ability of a permanent you control to trigger, that ability triggers an additional time. Simulacrum, 4 colorless mana. Artifact creature Golem 2/2, and when it enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a basic land and put that card onto the battlefield tapped, then shuffle, and when it dies, you get to draw a card. Steel Overseer, another great reprint. Clifftop Retreat, another great reprint. Exotic Orchard, good reprint. Glacial Fortress, Irrigated Farmlands. Prairie Stream, another. All these are great reprint for lands. Skycloud Expanse. Spire of Industry, another fantastic reprint. Sulphur Falls. Temple of Enlightenment. Temple of Epiphany. Treasure Vault. In case you haven't seen this one before, it is an artifact land. Tap to produce colorless mana, and you pay double X to tap and sacrifice Treasure Vault. Create X treasure tokens. Wayfarer's Bauble. Ash Barrens. Burian Ruin. Command Tower. Great artwork for Command Tower. Evolving Wilds. Mirrored Landscape. Mystic Monastery. Path of Ancestry. Razor Tide Bridge. Rustvale Bridge. Good artifact lands. Silver Bluff Bridge. Another artifact land. Terramorphic Expanse. And these are all basic lands. I'll go through them real quickly so you can see the different artwork. These are full art lands that are pretty darn amazing. I think the full art lands by themselves might be a good reason to pick up this deck, but overall, like, that's an amazing plains. It's fantastic. Great plains. And here's some of the thick stock cards. I don't know if you've ever seen these before. They are triple the thickness of a normal Magic card. I am not a fan, but, you know, some people are. And for the tokens, Energy Reserve, Human Knight. These are all, actually some of these are double-sided, so let's stop treasure, human knight, food, human knight, copy, thopter, treasure, thopter, junk, copy, clue, treasure, clue, treasure, human knight, food, robot, treasure, just an advertisement, and popular Magic formats, which we don't need because we all play Magic these days, and everyone plays Commander almost exclusively at my local store. And then here is the sample pack. Let's go ahead and open up, see what's inside. It says specifically not for resale. I think these come with 2 cards. Advertisement. Full art Temple of Malice, which that's a great reprint. And Preston Garvey Minuteman. 1 red, 1 green, 1 white, 2 colorless legendary creature, human soldier, 4/4. At the beginning of combat on your turn, create a green aura enchantment token named Settlement attached to one of your target lands you control. If enchanted land has it has enchant land, and enchanted land has tap to add 1 mana of any color, and then press and grab me. When this card attacks, untap each enchanted permanent you control. So you're able to untap some of those amazing lands. If you can give this guy Vigilance, all the better. Well, anyways, that was the Science Fallout deck. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions about the cards or anything else that's in this set, please leave it in the comments below. And until next time, I hope you have a fantastic week. And take it out to your local game store and pick up some of these great Fallout cards. And keep them rolling.
And thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please take the time to like the video and subscribe if you'd like to stay updated. Have a great day and keep them rolling.